Alright, Dad, here's what I'm going to do with you. I'm just going to hand the deck of cards to you, and I want you to go ahead and shuffle it real quick for me. And whenever you're satisfied, you can hand it back.
There you go.
You're done? You're done? Alright, look. So you shuffle this deck so you can agree there's no order or anything to it. Drop the card box there. You good? Alright, look. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to have you go ahead and just pick a card for me. Go ahead, just like that. I'm going to look away. I want you to show it to the camera, make sure the camera sees it, and you can memorize it as well. Alright, you got it? Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to run through the cards like this. I'm going to call stop.
Stop.
Right there, you sure? Alright, put it back. One last look at the card. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop your card back into the middle. And I'm going to shuffle it as well. So your card lost into the deck. Now, I'm going to see if I can actually cut to your card real quick here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it 1, 2, 3 cuts. And I'm hoping... Was that your card?
No.
It was not. Let's try this instead. 9 of clubs. Can you hold out your hand for me? 9 of clubs goes into your hand. Can you put your other hand on top? So 9 of clubs goes into your hand. Alright, so look. I'm actually going to stand up for this part. There are a few things that we're going to do here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the 9 of clubs out of your hand. This is the first step to what we're going to do.
Okay.
And just like that, I should have gotten the 9 of clubs out of your hand. But the second step, let me get the box for this, is to get your card out of the deck and into your hand. For the first time, can you please name your card?
3 of spades.
Welcome back to the channel. My name is Josiah, and today I'm going to be sharing a tutorial with you guys. Tutorial? Sorry, I meant a tutorial. Anyway, what we're going to be learning today is something that utilizes what we learned in the last video. So in the last video, if you don't check that out, click the link in the description box down below. I taught you guys the push-off double lift. I'm not going to demonstrate it. Anyway, if you watched the last video, you'll know what it is. If you watched the performance, you'll also have seen it. But it is quite an advanced move. So if that move that you learned, if it's kind of out of your skill level, if you really think, I'm not quite ready for that yet, then I am going to be teaching another double lift, a different version of that in this video, as well as I'm going to have a second tutorial coming later on the channel. And one of the things, well actually it's going to be several tutorials in one video, I guess. You'll see what it is when it comes out. But in that video I'm actually going to be teaching another version of the double lift, still kind of easy. This one is probably as easy as it gets. That one's going to be a little bit more toward intermediate, but not bad. So, yeah. So anyway, all jokes aside, what we're going to be learning is a trick that utilizes that, as well as we're going to be learning two card controls technically. The first is used as a card control in the performance, and it's called the Hindu Shuffle control. I don't know how you guys can see that, but this is the Hindu Shuffle, and we're going to be using that shuffle, and we're going to utilize it in a card control sort of fashion. And the next thing we're going to be learning is we're also going to be learning another card control as well in this video called the double, or sometimes called the triple, undercut. And I don't teach it as a control in this video. I'm going to be teaching it as a false cut, really. But if you know the basic principle, you'll be able to use it as a card control as well. Now, finally, we are going to be, I guess the final thing we're learning in this video is we're going to be learning how to take some basic sleights, some basic principles, and apply them in a way that makes a really beautiful and powerful trick out of it, because everyone knows this version of this trick, basically. Basically all it is, you pick a card, you control it to the top, double lift, oh, that's not your card, oh, put it on the table, and snap your fingers, boom, it changes. But we're going to be talking not so much about that aspect of it, but more the aspect of using our performance to take what is a very basic trick and to make it something a lot more. That said, I don't want to leave us with any, further ado sort of thing, so let's just get right into it. Alright, so taking a look at this trick, what you're going to do to begin with is you're going to have someone shuffle the cards. Now, one important thing to note about any trick is that I love impromptu tricks. And even if it's not impromptu, later in the channel we're going to be teaching some ways you can get around this. But it's always great to be able to hand a deck to someone, have them shuffle the cards, and then they give the cards back to you, and you're able to do something crazy with them. It's even better sometimes if it's a borrowed deck, but most people don't walk around with, that aren't magicians at least, walk around with a deck of cards all the time. So, instead what we're going to do is we just hand it them to shuffle. And this is an impromptu trick, which means that they can shuffle the deck. The deck can even be borrowed if you want. You can use someone's old, bridge deck that they have laying around in the closet for family game night, okay? That's fine. Or you can use one of your own decks. And while we're talking about that, and as I drop cards everywhere, this deck here that I'm using in this video is called the Purple Monarchs by Theory 11. I don't know what it is. I like the color purple on cards. I don't know why, but for some reason I just love this, purple color on a deck of cards. So if you do want to buy a deck of Purple Monarchs, which this is debatably my favorite deck of cards, then I am going to leave a link down below to where you can pick one up for yourself from Amazon. Alright, so taking a quick look at it, after you shuffled, what you're going to do is you're going to have someone pick a card, and you can do it with a table spread or an in-the-hand spread, whatever, but you just have someone grab a card. It does not matter what the one they grab. In this case, it's a 7 of diamonds. But being the magician, you're not going to know that. Alright? So what you're going to do, basically, is you're going to want to control that card, meaning that while it looks like their card is fairly lost in the deck, you're actually moving it to the top of the deck. It sounds complicated, but there are actually many methods for doing it, and some of them are more difficult, but this one that I'm teaching you is not difficult at all. And this is called the Hindu Shuffle Control. And this is more of a, beginner to intermediate level control, but it's a control that I used all the time when I first started off in Magic, and it's kind of a beautiful control as well, to get a card to the top. And it looks like this. So you run through the cards and ask someone to call stop. Alright, so looking at the Hindu Shuffle, basically what it is, you're going to grip the cards in this fashion. You're going to have your middle ring finger on the side, thumb on the other side, index finger is kind of curled on top, I guess. And what you're going to do is you're going to use your middle finger and your thumb of your other hand to pull a few cards or a small packet of cards off the top of the deck and drop it into this hand like this, into left-hand mechanics grip. This. And if you're left-handed, you'll be mirroring what I do with your opposite hands. And it looks like that. And at speed, it's quite a beautiful little shuffle. And it's basically just an overhand shuffle in a different fashion. So I'm probably out of the frame there when I was doing that, but it's okay. I'm going to sit down now so I don't get out of frame again. What's going to happen basically is, if you don't know how to do an overhand shuffle, you're just pulling cards off the top like this. This is like that, but it's in a little bit of a different fashion, basically. And that is the Hindu Shuffle. So basically, in order to do the Hindu Shuffle control, you're just going to run cards off slowly until they call stop, stop. Ideally, they call stop about halfway or a quarter of the way down, and you drop their card right back in where they called stop. 7 of diamonds, you give them one last look at it, and you put it back into the deck. But what I'm doing here is I'm using my fingers here to grab a break at the sides. I don't know if you can see that well on camera, but I'm just grabbing, here, let me see if it can look better from the back. I'm grabbing a break from the sides. I'm going to turn to the side here so you can see that break. I'll even exaggerate it for the camera. But I'm getting a break. Normally the break is only about that much, but I'm just going to exaggerate for the camera. Now it's okay if it's a little bit visible from the front, because you're going to be shuffling the cards. So what you're doing is you're now going to go into a Hindu Shuffle, but you're just going to shuffle the cards naturally like this. And you're going to shuffle until you peel cards off at the break, and you drop all the cards at the break on top. And you get their card at the top like that. And basically all it is it's literally just shifting a packet around to the top. It's basically just a cut. But we're going to make it look better than that. So if you just kind of pull cards off the top, I like to use my fingers to pull cards off the bottom as well, but that's a little bit harder to do. and you just kind of shuffle like this. And at speed, it's kind of a natural thing to do. It might seem like something that at speed it would be kind of hard to do, but it's actually not. It's really simple to just go like this, and it's just natural. You'll just feel the right moment when you've hit that brake, and everything will come on top. It's so natural. A little bit of practice, and you should get it to control their car to the top. Once you control their car to the top, you're now going to go into a double lift. And obviously in the last video, I taught this push-off double lift, or if you do the push-off double lift like this, that works too. But the way we're going to do this is another easy one, is that you take this card off to get a brake underneath the card second from top. And basically, there are a few ways to do this. The first way is to riffle up the back with your thumb until you feel 2 cards, and you just stick your pinky finger in there to get a little break. And remember, a pinky break is only a little bit, it's not that much. You can get a pinky break that way. You can also dribble the cards to get a break. There are a whole bunch of ways to get a break. They're taught in several other videos. I'll teach them a few more on the channel. But an easy way to do it is to take off this top card, use your middle finger to flick it, and you don't even have to flick it. You just kind of take it off and you kind of say, you just talk to them naturally. And as you do this, you push over this top card. As you pull it back, you get a break. You set this card on top, and you go into your lift. And basically all this is I'm just reaching at the brake and pulling the cards over. And all I do is when I pull them over, I leave them out jog, meaning sticking out away from me. So it's toward the camera, but it's away from me. Like from my perspective, the card is away from me. And basically from here, what I can do is I can pull up with my middle finger to get a break like that. But an easy way to do this is to just leave it in jogged, meaning sticking out inwards toward me instead of away from me. And then I flip it over in the same fashion, and then I set it down. That's simple. Once I set it down, obviously it's changed into the 7 of diamonds already because it was a double lift, but I don't want them to see that. So I carefully set it. I have them hold out their hand, I have them set it in their hand. What I do from here is I have them put their other hand on top, and I say, all right, look, I'm actually going to stand up for this. And because normally I'm sitting down, and I like to stand up for this part. So I'll just use the box here as, let's pretend like that's our hand. And basically all you're going to do here is you're now going to do the second control. And the second control is going to get their card to the bottom of the deck. Now, earlier one thing I mentioned, earlier I mentioned that, in the performance I guess, that I would cut the deck. And the way I did that is I used the same control. And all I did was I swing cut a portion and I continue with the control. And basically all the control is you're going to get another pinky break in the middle of the deck, just like, similar to like we did with the, what I just taught with the double lift, but this time it's in the middle. And all we do is we're going to convert that to a thumb break, where we're getting a little break at the back with our thumb like that. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to reach in, I'm going to use my pinky to break off a portion of cards, move it to the top, then I go to the break, move to the top. And just like that, I'm able to, get, whatever cards to the top or anything, okay? And the way we use this in this context is we're going to lift up on the top card a little bit to get our thumb break, and then we do a double undercut like that. And I do that as I stand up, their hands out here. So now what I've done is I've literally just moved their card to the bottom. You could also just literally take the top card and move it to the bottom. That's a little bit obvious though, so I like to just do this. And then I say, look, now everything's done though. From here, it's just the performance of it, and that's what I'm going to focus on from here on out, because the 10 of spades is already on the bottom. The 7 of diamonds, their card is already in their hand. The key here is acting. So the way we do this is once this is in their hand, what I like to do, here I'll put it in the box too, as example for how this part goes. What I do is I put the deck on top of their hand, I put this hand underneath, and I slap. I love the sound. There's a lot of sound, and just a nice sound when you kind of smack someone's hand, not hard, but lightly. If you were to smack someone's hand during a trick, it just brings so much power to the magic. I don't know what it is about that, but I just love it. From here, what you're going to do is once you get into this position with your hand underneath, you smack, and now you just take your hand, the deck away, you show the card there, their hand is still there, I put this here, and I say, now watch. And from here, I use the box. You can use any sort of acting you want, but I kind of like, let's pretend like that's between their hands. I like to kind of open up the box, so I riffle the deck, and I kind of go like that. I close the box, and I kind of go as if I'm flicking the card into their hand. And the reason I do that is because I don't like this. I don't like snapping them up, okay? Because there's no way the snapping does anything. That's just like, you're not Mary Poppins, okay? You can't make clothes jump up everywhere with the snap of the fingers, okay? That doesn't work, okay? It's obvious that won't do anything. So I want to make it a bit more magical, like, as if I actually have to do something with the box to get the card in the hand. And I have them lift up their hand. I take this and I say, for the first time, name your card. And I tilt this toward me so I can see it. They're seeing the back. They say 7 of diamonds or any card. And then I flip it over. And there's their card. And this is a little subtlety I like to add at the end of any trick. Is this holding here. I flip it over like this sideways. I flick it with my finger. And I set it down. And I kind of just lean back at this point. And I let them take over to examine anything they want. And that's it. Everything's done. They can examine everything. It's that fair. Alright guys, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. It does help me. Comment down below if you would like to. You don't have to. Make sure you leave any ideas or anything you might have for this down below. And please subscribe to the channel. It helps me, and I really have some things I want to do with this channel, but I'm gonna need you guys to subscribe in order to do that. So that's it. So hopefully you enjoyed that. My fan just kicked on, so that's fun. However, I would like to just say bye, and stay tuned for the video coming later today, because that tutorial, I'm excited for that one. I can't wait to get to it. I'll see you next time. Bye.